What is happening in the Milton real estate market? That's a question that I get asked a lot lately, and that's something that we're going to answer right now. Hi, I'm Shaleni Henriquez. I'm a local Milton real estate agent with RE/MAX Real Estate Center. And a question that I've been getting a lot lately is what's happening with the real estate market amidst this COVID-19? Are homes still selling? Are prices dropping? This is a question that a lot of people have. So I thought that we would talk about it today. When the March stats came in just at the beginning of April, they really weren't that surprising. What we had found was there were 210 homes that had sold in March of 2020. That was up over the home sales in 2019, which were around 194. The difference is if you divide March into two segments, being the first 2 weeks of March versus the last 2 weeks of March. Now we know sort of middle of March is when the government came out with letting us know, kids were not going to be going back to school. A state of emergency was declared in Ontario. Some businesses were declared essential, real estate being one of them, and many other businesses were forced to shut down. So when you compare the first 2 weeks of March to the last 2 weeks of March, you can notice there's a big difference. The beginning of 2020 in Milton, the market was just like a white hot real estate market. There were multiple offers on everything. I had been with clients and some offers, there was 12 offers on a property. It was a really, really hot market. And so amidst COVID-19 really put the lid on and slowed everything down because we're all doing what we've been told. Like we're practicing social distancing. We're staying in our homes, sheltering in place. People just are not going out to look at homes. So it's no surprise that the last 2 weeks of March reflect that. The homes that sold from March 15th to 31st were 44% less than what we had seen selling in those first 2 weeks of March. Market was, hey, what are you doing? No. Yeah, my dog just started eating like a napkin. It's the joy of recording at home. All right, where were we? So overall, we ended March with home prices up about 17% to $840,176. That's over March of 2019, so the previous year. 17% was huge, and I truly believe it could have even gone higher had we not slowed down so dramatically in the middle of March. So that gives you sort of an indication of where we were up until the end of March. You can see those last 2 weeks of March, things started to slow down quite dramatically. What do I expect to see in April? Well, expect even more of a decrease. In April, I do expect to see a drop in the number of homes sold and also a drop in the average price per home as people stay home and continue to flatten the curve. Now, I look at the numbers of sales every day here in Milton, and I went back to look at what had sold April 1st to April 20th here in Milton. And we had sold for freehold homes out of the Toronto Real Estate Board. There was 53 freehold homes reported sold during that time period. When I went back to look at what we had done in 2019, for the same month, there was 166 sales during that same time period. So that represents a 68% decrease in the amount of homes sold. So it just reflects what we've been told, and everyone is staying home to flatten the curve. There are not as many people going out to see homes. I did sell a home virtually. I was able to, go to see the home with taking all of the precautions like gloves and mask. And also, just through a FaceTime call, we were able to do that. And real estate really has adapted. People are doing more 360 tours. You'll see there should be like a lot more video content available for people to really get an understanding and feel of the home without actually having to go and see it in person. Most of the buyers that I was actively working with have decided to put everything on hold and kind of see where this goes. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's uncertainty with jobs. There's uncertainty in the economy. People are scared about their health and just really, don't want to actively get out and look for homes if you don't have to. But there are a number of people that do have to, and that's why real estate was declared an essential service, so that we can still help those folks that do need to move during this time. People have asked me, hey, Shaleni, is now a good time to buy? And my answer to that is, if you don't have to move right now and you're concerned about your job or your finances, then now, would not be a good time for you to get out looking for a home. But if you do have to move right now, so maybe you're in a home where the landlord has sold it and you need to find a new property, or maybe you've already sold your home and now you need to buy something, well then yes, there are homes on the market. I think we were sitting around 230 in terms of condo and freehold, the last that I looked in Milton. So there are a lot of homes for you to choose from. If you do have to move, it's more important than ever that you are partnered with a realtor who really understands the market that you are looking in, and they can really speak to the streets, the types, the styles of homes. They really understand the inventory and pricing of what's happening, because that will just save you a lot of time and unnecessarily having to go out and actually look at places. What I've done for clients lately is if there was something that they really had wanted to see, I will go out and preview that for them over a video call before they would actually make the move to go out and see the home themselves, to see if it's worth it for them to go and take a look at it. So that's definitely something you can do. Luckily, I've always embraced, video is a big part of my business. If you've watched any of my Check It Out Milton videos, so I'm able to do that for my clients. Also, I've incorporated more 360 video. I have this really handy 360 camera, so you're able to go through the home and kind of see that whole, just as if you were there, like a real virtual look at how the home is. Now, for clients that need to sell right now, if you don't have to sell, you may not want to be on the market right now. But that being said, there are people that do have to sell. There are people who have bought pre-construction homes that are closing. Maybe they purchased them a couple of years ago and those closings are coming up if they haven't been delayed. There are people that have job transfers. There are people who are separating. There's a lot of reasons why people need to move or to sell a home. Again, why real estate's been deemed an essential service. So if you do have to sell right now, you just have to be prepared for the reality. The reality is, homes are taking longer to sell. Days on market has definitely increased. The days of having, lineups of people to come through your home, overlapping showings are gone. Actually, I recommend you don't even allow overlapping showings right now and schedule the showings really just to 30-minute intervals, so that you don't have multiple people coming through the home. Remax, which is the company that I work for, they have a questionnaire that we put in place, like a COVID-19 questionnaire, so people can be screened before they are coming through the home. So all of those things are in place to really help as much as they can. Another thing that can happen, again, with the 360 tours, vetting people before they actually come to see the property, have they sold a home? Do they have a home to sell? Just understanding where they are in the market. One of the good things is that most people that are out there looking really do have to make a move. So anybody who was sort of just going out to see what's out there, those people really aren't out shopping for homes right now. So you really are capturing the people that are really needing to make a move. Now, if you are thinking of holding off and maybe you want to sell later on in the year, there are things that you can do right now to prepare yourself for that. I am offering, with my staging partner, some virtual staging consultations, and we can always jump on a call and have a quick strategy session as well. So the bottom line is expect the numbers and the news. They are going to be talking about, big drops in the numbers in a time in spring, which was usually one of the busiest times for real estate. But it is because everyone is doing their part in sheltering in place. I have read some of the predictions from the Toronto Real Estate Board and different economists of what they think will happen if we all continue to do our part, shelter in place and flatten the curve, and things can sort of get back to some sort of semblance of normal. Then I do believe there will be a bounce back quicker in real estate. But if that doesn't happen, then this could be prolonged for longer. I guess to leave you with is just that if you do have to move, real estate has been declared essential, and there are ways that we are able to help you right now. If you don't have to move, then enjoy this time with your family. If you are at home, most of us are still working from home and managing dogs and kids and all of those other things that we have to do. If you have been laid off or on a temporary layoff right now, then I can imagine it is very difficult for everyone. We're all just trying to do our best and get through this time and really just stay home so that we can flatten the curve and support our healthcare workers that are out there on the front line working to keep all of us safe. So we are very grateful to all of them. So thanks for watching. I'm going to give you more frequent updates as we go through this next period of time, which is going to see a big reduction in those numbers. If you have questions for your own circumstances, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm happy to help wherever I can. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.